Right, okay, I believe I've got everything sorted now. God knows why it broke. Yep, working. Okay, brilliant. Bloody hell, that was annoying. Right, okay, so basically, it's been quite a while since I played Path of Exile. I've met a couple of other streamers who seem interested in ARPGs and stuff like that, so I thought I would show them some Path of Exile. So we're going to make a new character and go from there. Okay, sure. Let's go for Harbinger. Okay, so basically, for those who are new, there is 7 classes. If you just start the game, you only get 6. Weirdly, they've kept it so that in Act, I think it's 2? No, Act 3. You get about halfway through and you get to unlock the Scion. I don't know why they haven't changed it. It doesn't really make much sense, so hopefully they will. But basically, it kind of goes on the whole trope of you've got strength, intelligence, and dexterity. So you've got the Templar over here. He's a combination of strength and intelligence.
To serve God at the order.
Then you've got the Shadow, who is dexterity and intelligence. You got
Do you think
the
you're
Marauder,
savage enough to face the land of the damned?
who is all strength. You got the Scion,
a
who
scion of
is
perfection in mind, body, and
everything.
grace. The crowning glory of our civilization, offering us hope.
Then you've got the Ranger, which is
Swift and
pure
silent,
dexterity.
the bounty of others.
Duelist, who is
You were born to be
dexterity
swift
and
and
strength. And the Witch, who's pure intelligence.
Why do the king
So, you know, it kind of
minds
covers
seek to
everything.
satiate their curiosity in darkness and depravity?
But it is
Innocence
all
is
one
our
skill
father.
tree.
Arieth is our mother.
Oh,
When a daughter
go away.
strays from the light.
God, I wish you could turn that off. Okay, so yeah, but what happens is everybody is using the same skill tree. Okay, so it's a big massive skill tree. There's hundreds, if not thousands. I can't remember the exact number. I think it's just over 1,000 off the top of my head. Points that you get. And there's 7 places to start on the tree. And you can basically go anywhere you want. And you've got about, I think it's roughly, I want to say, well, your level plus about 12 extra. So you've got maybe 100 skill points, or passive points as they're called, to put on the tree. And so I'll show you that when we get in. But as for starting character, I don't know. Who's good to start with? Let's go Duelist.
You were born to be swift and strong. What did you do with your gifts, duelist? You squandered them on self-indulgence. Sin has led you here, your path inked in the blood of gratuitous murder. You have betrayed the grand arena. Now Rayclast shall be your audience, and your foe.
Okay, so they all have a little intro like that. It's pretty cool. Those are actually new. They came with the latest big update, which is pretty cool. Oh, already exists. Ha 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 ha. Fail. Fail. No, get back.
You were born to be swift and strong.
Sanity.
What did you do with your gifts, duelist? You
Duelist.
squandered them on self-indulgence. Sin has led you here. Your path inked in the blood of virtue.
Okay, so we're on a beach. The boat that we were on, going here, basically became a shipwreck. A lot of people died. Oh. Oh, blimey, one of my old friends on here. And yeah, as you can see, it's very much a Diablo-like game. Got your health globes, so you got health and mana, and you got a load of flasks down here. And then here's where all the skills go. Oh my god, he died! No! I will avenge you.
Even the dead rise to challenge me here.
Okay. Typical trope keyboard bindings, so I for inventory, K for your character screen, O for options, yada yada yada. So main part of the game is skills. So skills are very customizable. Skills are these little gems that you can put into gear. So weapons, armor, rings, probably an amulet at some point. And then they can come out. So left click to put them in, right click to take them out. It becomes a skill. And this is all changeable, all rebindable. I would just put that to move only. And P is your passive skill tree. So this is the passive skill tree. Big and intimidating, but it's really simple after your first character, really. You're not expected to go everywhere. That's why there's 7 points on a tree. The point is, if you want to go to, say, here, it is more than feasible. Doing the race. Oh, is that race? That's probably a better thing to start with, isn't it? 1 second. And welcome. Events. No. Social? (8 PM). Oh, yeah. Definitely. Okay, give me a second. I didn't know there was a race. Probably do that.
You were born to be swift and strong. What did you do with your gifts?
Yeah, I see there is. See, no, those are 10-day ones, so no, I haven't started them. I could probably get. Didn't choose hardcore. I'm only showing people the game, mate. Only for the first stream. We'll start doing this properly once the new league hits. Because at the moment, Harbinger just sucked. So I did it for the new content, but then it quickly got boring. It was a really bad league, in my opinion. But these have already been going on for 8 days, so there's no point starting it. I'm not going to get anywhere with it. So, where was I? Oh yeah, going in. Passive tree. So, what was I saying? Yes, so typically you start with a character where you've got a load of things that you want. So basically, obviously the duelist is very much a melee character. He's very fast, so he's useful for things like dual wielding, or if you wanted to go sword and board, this is probably why you'd want to do it. And this opens up later in the game. So when you get to something called a labyrinth, you can start customizing the character a bit more, which is where choosing a character can really change the game, even though it's on the same passive tree. And each one has 3 different ways that they can go. Although Scion, I believe, is just 1, but they get access to smaller effects from all other classes. So the Scion is a very hard one to get into, I would say. It's also kind of a really weird starting area, because you could have equal opportunity to anywhere in the tree, but the starting area isn't all that great, in my opinion. I mean, it gets you access to health, or mana regen, or evasion, or armor, but it's not near anything big. So there's a couple of different types of things on here. So you got normal passive points, like these, and this is how you get your normal stats up. So strength, dexterity, intelligence, which is what you'll need for choosing gear. And so yeah, when you're around a duelist, you'll get lots of dexterity and lots of strength, but you'll find it really, really hard to get intelligence, because that's all the way up here. So when you do need stuff like that, when they don't normally have it, you've got things like this. So big ones that add plus 30. But yeah, you've got normal ones, and then you've got these, which are called notables. These have they're a bit bigger, and they've got this gold outlining. And then you've got these, which basically change it in quite a big way, and they can do all manner of crazy things. So this is a pretty popular one, Iron Reflexes. It basically takes all of the evasion rating on your armor, and it just transfers it to armor. So you can't evade at all, but you can get a freaking ton of armor, because hybrids have more points overall, but because they're split, they typically are worse than going dedicated, like intelligence armor or dedicated armor, or you know, any which way. This basically takes the duelist armor, which is a hybrid of obviously strength and intelligence, and it just converts it into 1. And got stuff for bleeding, that's new. Blood magic, so you've got no mana, and it takes it all from health, so it does change it in pretty big ways. This is quite a nice one. You don't have to think about attack rating, because everything hits. Oh right, no, not that one. That one. So everything hits with this one, but you can't critical. This is good in combination with Iron Reflexes, because you can't be stunned, and you're not evading anyway. So the downside of this doesn't matter. So yeah, lots of options. Let's get to the game. So start on a beach, super easy. That's what double strike looks like. Okay, and the flask system is pretty basic. So basically you've got charges, and it refills as you kill things, or when your party kills things. So as you can see, refilling the mana, and takes some and then refills it. So second part of the skill system is supports. So you've got a main skill, that's, you know, whatever skill that is, and then you can change how it works by adding supports. So in this case, it's chance to bleed. So now I can start bleeding with this. Now for supports to work with the skill, you need to have this little connector between the two sockets. Provided you've got that, it will work. Should also note that the new 3.0 patch actually improved the new player experience quite a bit. So there is a nice information tab open now. Where is it? I'm not sure where it is, honestly. Not there. No. Anybody know? You'd think this would be here. Nope. World screen? No. Yeah, it would be the Atlas. Okay, I don't know how to get it. Okay, it's here somewhere. Either way, it's basically a nice in-game overview of everything. So if you're confused about something, you can just go there. Okay, now we're about to come up to the boss of this zone. So every zone has a boss in it. So this one's called Hillock.
It's nice not to be.
It's pretty easy. You just need to make sure you're constantly healing when you get to about halfway. Oh, okay, and it's asking me to do a skill point. Okay, so every level, one skill point. Okay, we're just going to go the damage route, why not? Okay, so again, other typical tropes, various types of items and rarities. So you've got these white items, very basic. They all have some sort of inbuilt passive, as it were. So like this has 40% increased accuracy. That's a typical thing for swords. Claws here, for instance, they can do things like leech.
Fine work with Hillock. Where'd you learn to fight like that? No, forget I asked. We exiles have no history.
So
Dominus
everything
from us when he had his
is
blood
voice
dumped
acted,
water out
as far as I know.
there. Here, got something for you. Should help you kill a few.
Quest rewards. We're going to go with cleave.
Stay sharp out there. Welcome.
This is trading, so you don't get gold in this game, you get fragments, and you get crafting materials. So the crafting materials are the full currency. Okay, so it's all about barter.
Farewell.
Take care.
Wow, that is a sucky collection.
Take care.
Alright, we're gonna replace... No, we can't replace it.
Welcome.
You know what that'll do? Okay.
Stay sharp.
And this is how crafting works. Boom, like that. So this changes the colour on the sockets. So green gems can only go in green sockets, red in red, blue in blue.
A dashing
But I think I'm going to stop explaining things for now, since
Not the most pleasant of arenas.
you can always figure it
but
out,
It'll have to do. for
and
now.
I will just show you some gameplay.
My spirit is spent.
But I'll probably make this a lot more interesting. So that was just teaching you a bit about the game, but let's go into a proper character. Okay, let me show you some end game. Okay, and so this is what the end game looks like. You use maps, and you can craft these like you can with equipment. What we're going to do is do something interesting with this, or try to. That sucked. Oh, that'll do. Oh. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. It's all still here. This is your hideout, and you can customize it. It's pretty sweet. Now where did I put everything? Right, there it is, right in front of me. Okay, so you got this little map device, and it opens up a portal. And you go into the portal, and it kills you. So this map is actually pretty low level for me. I don't know why I don't have any better maps.
Return to Kitava.
So this build is something called Face Breakers. Many different types of Face Breaker builds, and it's a very popular choice, very budget-friendly choice, especially for new players. It doesn't teach you a whole lot about some of the major components of the game, though, like some of the mechanics, because it works in a very weird way to most builds. Because it doesn't have a weapon, I'm actually hitting everything to death with my fist, and using something called Cyclone. And basically, it's all about scaling unarmed damage. Now, this is typically the only thing in the game that works like that. Okay, and Face Breakers is basically a pair of gloves, and you basically stack as much physical damage, like flat physical damage, as you possibly can. And you may be thinking, that appears to be a low amount of damage, like 4 to 14 and 8 to 12, and you know, it's only about 800%. But this is my DPS. So the way that damage is calculated can be a bit tricky, and it's not something I can really explain quickly or understandably if you're new to the game. You're just not gonna get it. You'll have to see how it progresses as you level and just learn by yourself, and then when you need to know something more specific, you can always ask. But no, something like this, oh, it's a huge difference. See, 36 to 80. Okay, it's a massive difference. It's also a bit of a unique character because almost everything is actually a unique. So unique is these orange type items. They have special art, and it can make the character very hard to build, because they typically don't have resistances, or they don't have the resistances that you really need in endgame. So it can be very tricky. So a lot of this stuff is very expensive, and it took me quite a while to acquire the currency for, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 uniques. In fact, actually, it's a lot less than I thought it was. At one point, I think I had 7 uniques for this character. So, yeah, let's do some more. And hopefully I can get a better drop of a map. Oh, this is something interesting. This is like a random event. You can get some of these in maps and or just zones in general. It's basically a crate of really good loot, and you just have to kill stuff when it comes out. Ooh, I'm getting frozen. Didn't have a lot in. This is another one where you get these essences. Essences are like crafting materials, but they're very special. They have set things that they give, and there's many different tiers of them. And usually it's a pretty tough fight. The guys around here, not so much, but the guy in the middle, always pretty tough. Although I'm pretty beast, so... I mean, I'm level, was that 83? This is only a 74 zone. Oh, this is the boss, the main boss of the area. So like every zone, every map has an end boss. Oh yes, what other things does this character have? Okay, so this gives you a really good idea about how sockets and supports work. So let's have a look at a really good one to... Yep, there we go. Okay, so temporal chains and enfeeble are curses, and they act like most curses do. Basically, you select an area, and around that area, where you point your mouse, it will basically affect everything within a radius, and they get a debuff. Now, I don't do that. Instead, I use a support called Blasphemy that turns it into an aura instead. So instead of actually having to click everywhere, it's basically just around my character. Really good with Cyclone because I'm a melee character, which means I'm always near enemies, so they're always affected. And auras take a reservation of mana or health if you've got blood magic. And so you can only have so many at a time, but you can have you know, really unique characters where they can build around auras, and they can get like 10 or something auras at a time. This character only has 2, and you can see it takes the vast majority of my mana. But it means that I can just fly through everything instead of having to constantly click everywhere beforehand. I've also got something here called cast when damage taken. Here we go, which is a proc. So you can proc pretty much anything. And I'm procking something called Molten Shell, which is that big Inferno Blast type thing that happens. And basically what that does is it, when something hits me enough, it can proc, and I get a little aura around myself, or at least a little buff. Okay, and that gives me increased defenses to various things, and when I get hit enough for it to finally break because it has health, it then explodes around me. I've also got something called a Mortal Call, which basically happens as well when they hit at the same time, and that gives me a little bit of invulnerability, so it can really save your character from getting one shot, or essentially 2 shot. One shotting can still happen, but it means that if you got a load of enemies or a monster of a very high attack speed, you won't get 2-shotted essentially. So is that, and then increased duration, which basically just increases the duration of Immortal Core. It doesn't affect Molten Shell, since it has no duration on it. And so, yeah, the tags at the top, it says support, spell, and trigger. Those are very important. And supports and skills and procs and all of this can only happen if those sorts of keywords are in alignment. So, what other things can I show you? Cosmetics, pretty cool part of the game. No pay to win. There's a single thing about ease of, convenience with things like buying tabs for your stash. Doesn't really affect the game, only if you're a hoarder. I suppose you can say it can affect trading, because it's a lot easier to trade with special tabs. But you can do the game without them, or certainly solo. I mean, it's definitely built around multiplayer, but you can solo it just fine, all the way to end game. And this got a recent overhaul. This cosmetics window, and basically, yeah, you can choose pretty much anything. And it goes over gear, so you don't have to keep on applying it. So you can do crazy stuff like this. Let's go for the Carnage Zap. Oh, that is Carnage. There you go. There you go. How cool! How awesome is that? Got a load of candles on top. You can also get pets as well. These pets don't do anything. They just literally fly around you or waddle around you. It's got a little chicken here. Yeah. And a dove. Portrait frame. For things like partying. So it's a bit more distinctive. You can even change your portal. So this is... do I have a portal? I don't have a portal. Let me raid the floor. There we go, portal. So this is what a normal one looks like. Boring. Oh, welcome Keith. Keith was one of my regulars. Let me find another portal on the floor somewhere. Oh, here we go. Oh, why did that work? That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Might have to log out. 1 second. Let's buy some portals quickly so I don't have to go looking for them. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty dope. So, I must have a cold conversion. Oh, that's pretty sweet. So it's freezing the screen up everywhere. I like the freezing animations, the shattering animations. I'll probably go the ice crit ice arrow build in the new league. I think that's going to be my new go-to, because it required next to nothing in terms of currency to actually set up and get to endgame. So, what other stuff we got here? Stormcaller. I like the Stormcaller set. Oh, they came out with shields, didn't they? Just as I got bored with the league, they came out with shields, armor effects. Alright, I don't know anything about the Mayhem League. As I said, I literally just got back into the game. So this 10-day Mayhem event, yeah, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, you know what these guys need? They need a search bar. They need a search bar so we can actually look for shield or chest piece or whatever. So what actually happens is it? What's the league mechanic? We've been spoiled with this new cosmetic system, where now actually buying them sucks. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so a lot of stuff going on. I swear they had more shields. Maybe it's in new. Ah, there it is. Scarecrow helmet, that looks cool. There's a load of new stuff. Right, okay, but what I want is that shield. Where did it go? Second thing I need to revamp is actually seeing this bloody video in game. Okay, that's a sweet looking shield. Buy points. 100, oh Jesus, I forgot how expensive it was. CK. Is this the new stuff? The new league stuff? It looks like it. Damn it, that looks so good. A lot better than the Harbinger stuff. God damn it, I don't want to spend any money at the moment though. It's coming up to Christmas, so I don't have any money. Oh well, I'll get the shield later. So, yeah, so I think I'm gonna end the stream. I will be back, definitely. And day one of the new league, I will be here, and we're gonna be on here for hours at a time. So, yeah, watch out for that. I will be back, but I'll probably be doing other streams for things like Warframe. Because literally this video was all about just showing some new streamer friends about the game. Because I just, there's nothing left to do in Harbinger. It was boring. I don't want to do it. But no, the new league looks cool. Yeah, I mean, if you want to like party up, Keith, in the new league, then yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. And then I can show my new friends how it's done. So, oh, new friends, by the way, you might be interested in, Keith. It's called Delivery Boy. And that's delivery boy, as in B-O-I, all one word. He typically does a lot of Grim Dawn, but he's more of a typical ARPG. So, you know, Path of Exile should be right up his alley. But if you're looking for another game, he does Grim Dawn a lot. So, and he's a pretty cool guy. So, yeah. Hope you liked it. I know it wasn't exactly the best stream in the world. But, yeah, it's been like months since I've been doing it, so give me a break. And yeah, but I will probably be back tomorrow with some Warframe. So, or Grim Dawn, something like that. I haven't decided yet. Just general streaming. Alright, so nice seeing you, Keith. And I will see you tomorrow.